Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase and this is All Things Rim. It is basically midway through 2021 and I figure I might as well do my EDC or my everyday carry for 2021. Now I figure the easiest way to go about this is to go from one side to the other. So we're gonna start with the feet or the shoes and we're gonna work our way over on the table in front of me or on the desk in front of me. Now it's funny because some of you may think that I would carry something that I don't. Everybody on this channel basically already knows, I've sort of hinted to it, and on my Instagram, if you guys aren't following me at all_things_random_AK, you would know that I am an on-duty patrol officer, a police officer in Alaska. So with that being said, you won't find any guns here, no firearms. I do not conceal carry off duty. I do not carry off duty. It is something that I have discussed over and over with my colleagues. They think I'm an idiot. Guess what? I'm not off duty, and that is a police officer. Some people are like, hey, I'm a cop all the time. Me, I'm off duty, and guess what? I'm not. I'm not a cop. I'm in shorts, in sneakers, and the last thing I want to worry about is what's going on around me. So with that being said, let's dive into first my shoes. Now, if you guys have seen in the past, you guys know that I did a review on these nothing new sneakers. So the good news is I have a couple other sneakers coming in the mail and I'm going to compare these with two others. I'm going to compare them with one, a pair of Adidas Kermit. Now, the Adidas Kermit is a white leather sneaker, and it has the Kermit the Frog on it, and I think that would go perfect with the watch that I have here in my everyday carry. But then I have another pair of high-end shoes coming as well. I'm going to compare them. These are basically what I wear all the time. It's really easy to match something like this gray canvas sneaker to a pair of jeans or a pair of shorts or whatever. You know, it is summertime here in Alaska, or we're getting into summer here in Alaska, so I like to wear something a little stylish. I like to be stylish, and some of the things on my everyday carry is a styling thing. So first thing on the list is these nothing new canvas sneakers. They are honestly worth their money. Now, their big thing is they're sneakers that use recyclable goods. I honestly don't care about that. They look awesome and they are comfortable, which is primary in my book. Awesomeness looking and comfortability. After that, I really honestly don't care. Okay, next on the list is going to be, we'll do the mask, right? So this right here is the Oakley Mark III. Now, why do I have a mask on this list? We're heading into May. The CDC has changed their guidelines. Well, some stores are still requiring masks, even if you're fully vaccinated like myself, and some organizations, such as my department, is still forcing us to wear masks. So I wanted something that was, one, both stylish and will stay on my face. One of the things that really drives me nuts, honestly, especially during the last year of being forced to wear masks, is having to constantly adjust it on my face because it keeps riding down, because as you talk, your jaw moves and it pulls off your nose. Well, with this, honestly, because it uses silicone at the top, one of the things I really hate about masks are these ears, man. Oh my God. There's a meme that's going around. It's like, hey, everybody in 2021. Honestly, 100% correct. Well, the one thing I really like about this mask is it properly fits and I don't have to adjust it. This thing doesn't ride down my nose and it leaves me plenty of space underneath for my jaw to move, and it's easy for me to wear it through my entire shift if I have to. So, second on the list is going to be this Oakley Mark III. Was it expensive? Yes. Is it stylish? Absolutely. Do I like masks? No. Next on the list is going to be knives. Now I have two knives sitting here. I have first the Benchmade Auto. Now, the Benchmade Auto was the first automatic knife I've ever gotten. My father-in-law got this for me as a birthday gift, and honestly, it is one of my favorite go-to knives. Any Benchmade, one, you're gonna be paying $200 to $300 for a knife, and a lot of people aren't willing to pay the cost of a gun for a knife. I didn't have to. This was given to me. Thank God. But Benchmade guarantees their blades for life, and I haven't had one issue with this opening ever at all. This goes with me every day on patrol. It is my go-to. That being said, there is something to be said about the OTF knife, the out the front knife. It does have a coolness factor. This one is not a Benchmade. I do have a Benchmade Infidel. It was given to me by a buddy of mine. However, the spring on the Infidel just feels weak. One, a full-size Infidel is like $399, $400, thank God. That one was given to me too. However, this is an off-brand Chinese knife, and I just like the fact that the spring is so hard that I know it's gonna come out every single time. And to be honest, the only reason why people get OTF knives are not because they're functional. You can see this is a double-bladed pointed knife. This is great for opening packages and doing this. This is an expensive fidget spinner, if you guys know what I mean. Moving on. Okay, now the next on the list is going to be something I did a review on maybe a year and a half ago, and that is this carbon fiber slim wallet. Again, I've had this for over a year and a half. I did a review. I think I picked this thing up for $15. I will leave links and cards throughout this video of the things that I've already reviewed. But this thing, honestly, for 15 bucks has lasted me quite a long time. You can see that the paint is already peeling off. The carbon fiber is starting to get like a dullness to the sheen. But honestly, it's invaluable. You know, when it comes to thin wallets, I put this in my front pocket because I know that people come behind people and you can easily slip out wallets. I've seen it happen. People have complained about it happen. I've taken reports about it happening. So I leave my wallet in the front, and this thing is so thin and slim that it fits right in the front pocket. No problem at all. Before we get into the watches, because I have two watches that I wear nearly every day, one a little more than the other. However, these two are basically my go-to watches. But before that, we're gonna talk about something that again has a coolness factor, and that is this right here. This, if you're gonna eat out or just eat period, this thing is invaluable. Like you just can't, I can't tell you enough about how cool this thing is. This is a titanium, can you guess what it is? It's a titanium toothpick. Yes, it is a titanium toothpick. I'll be honest with you, if you guys are going out with a girl or going out with family, I have my wife, so if I go out with my wife, which we sort of haven't been going out because of, 2020, but we are starting, thank God, finally going out now that it's 2021. But when you have stuff stuck in your teeth, there is nothing cooler than a cool toothpick, and just like that, just like my OTF, it just springs right back in. Now, it is a forced out, right? And then it just, I don't know. There's just something cool I really like about this. It just, when you're out somewhere and you're like, hey, I have this titanium toothpick, it just gives a little more, I don't know, awesomeness to the things that you carry. Do I need to have this in my EDC? Yes, I do. A titanium toothpick is on my EDC. Okay, next we're gonna talk about my watches, my go-to watches. The first one is gonna be my 2007 Rolex Kermit. Now, I picked this up quite a while ago. If you know, prior to the maxi case, you know that when it comes to the links on this, the end links here are solid, the outer links are solid, and the middle links are hollow. And it does have a pressed clasp. This is one of those things where like you're picking up a $4,500 watch in the early 2000s, then in the mid 2000s, you're picking up a $8,000 watch, and then now you're picking up a $15,000 watch. And honestly, it's funny because the clasp was the worst thing on the watch. I did a video about the clasps and why I like the newer Glide Lock clasps more. One, because these are pressed out of one single thin sheet of steel, and the new ones are milled out of a block of steel. So it's a little different there, and this doesn't have a quick adjust micro. These have micro adjustments on the side, so I can do a micro adjustment. However, I have to have a tool to do that, and the newer Glide Lock clasp, I can literally adjust 1mm increments. I think on the fly, I have to look at my Hulk. It's on my Hulk. It is the most comfortable watch to wear. However, I just love, there's just something about this Rolex that I love. One, because it's different, right? A lot of people wear black dialed Submariners with black bezels. I just love the green of this bezel, and I love the fact that it's just turning lighter. Like every time I look at it, I notice that it just looks slightly lighter, and that's exactly why I'm getting the Adidas Kermit shoes to sort of go with this, right? What's the perfect pairing of a watch? If not watch, then the shoes. So I am going to be doing a review on those. I haven't ordered them yet, but I will be ordering them next week. So expect that review coming up also in the future. This is my number one go-to because these things are tough as nails. And the next one, well, is not as tough, but it still has a coolness factor. Now, if you guys looked at the thumbnail, you would know already that it is going to be my Aventi A-10 Tourbillon. Now, the reason I like this watch so much is because it is a statement piece, and outside of work and even sometimes at work, I do wear my Aventi A-10. The only thing that I will say about this watch is I have chipped the Cerakote finish on it, or the Cerakote finish on it, and there is two little tiny dings, and it's very noticeable for me, but it's not noticeable for anybody else. But it's my watch, so I am very nitpicky about that. Now, that was my fault. Is it because I dinged it up against something? No. Do you know what it was? It was even dumber than that. I was walking through the store, all cool, all awesome. I was spinning my key on a lanyard, boom, hit the side of my watch, and boom. Took a tiny little piece out of the Cerakote finish. Really, not really much of a big deal. I have banged this thing up a little bit, and there's no scratches other than those two little dings from that spinning key that I so idiotically was spinning while walking through the store. This thing is by far one of my favorite watches, and I will be doing a video in the next couple weeks about my future 5 watches, and an Aventi is going to be on those 5 watches. So that list will be coming out in the next couple weeks. I'll do a video on what to expect sort of from this channel and the watches coming up that I'm going to be purchasing. So that is going to be my number 2 watch, and that's the Aventi A-10 Tourbillon Modena Yellow, and that is the titanium. Now I have 2 more on the list, and then I'm done. One is going to be a cheap pair of sunglasses. These are Panama Jacks. I got these from Walmart. Now I'm just going to lift my hat up slightly. Normally I do my hair, but the reason I have these is because I like to run a lot outside. Honestly, I like a pair of Wayfarer sunglasses. However, when it comes to that, like I'm talking about like Ray-Ban style, but when it comes to those styles, those really aren't good for sports. These are more wrap around the face, so I find myself using these more than basically anything else. And that's only because I'm an extremely active person. Because I'm an active person, I'm gonna want an active pair of sunglasses. Because I'm doing a lot of running, a lot of biking, I'm gonna be wearing these a lot more. I also wear these at work. These are my go-tos, and these were like 15 bucks. Do I wanna buy a more expensive pair of sunglasses? Yes and no. Honestly, I would buy a more expensive pair of sunglasses. The problem is once I bought a pair of Oakley limited edition iridium green sunglasses that were like 240 bucks. I had them for about 6 months. My wife and I went down for our wedding, so this would be 8 years ago. And in San Diego, we stopped on the side of a road, and there was a military exercise where helicopters were loading up crates onto a military watercraft. I can't remember what it was. It was a carrier of some sort. I can't remember exactly. But what I do remember is I put my sunglasses on top of the back window, and my son came down. It wasn't his fault. It was my fault, and shut the back trunk lid and my $240 pair of sunglasses exploded into many pieces. And from that moment on, I basically haven't spent more than about 40 bucks on a pair of sunglasses. However, I was looking at a pair of Enemy sunglasses from Alpha M. I may get those, I may not. They're about 50 bucks, 60 bucks. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good deal when it comes to sunglasses, especially for someone like me who sort of goes through quite a bit of them. I care about name brands, but not really. You can get something that has no name brand at all, and I'll give you an example. We'll talk about a polo shirt. I can get a polo shirt from Old Navy or a polo shirt online from Amazon that has no logos at all, and that thing looks awesome. As long as it fits your body right, then it looks good. As long as they use a good material and it fits your body properly, it could be $20 and it could look like an $80 polo shirt. I'm not all about brandings. I don't need a lacrosse alligator on or anything like that. That is not necessary for me. For me, I am more of, as long as it looks good, then I'll wear it. So when it comes to sunglasses, as long as they look good, then I'll wear them. Now, last but not least is going to be something that is very useful if you're traveling a lot. Now, I found myself traveling quite a bit at the beginning of 2021, so this was sort of a no-brainer. So this right here is my wife's phone because I use my phone to film this stuff. I use an iPhone 11 and she has an iPhone XR. But we both have this right here. This is a Moffat, and the Moffat on the back is actually a stand for your phone. Now, honestly, it's really valuable when you're traveling a lot because you can both have it sitting like this as if you're on a plane, and you can have it sitting like this if you're just doing something. My wife uses hers more while she's teleworking. Honestly, she uses it while she's sort of in a meeting through Zoom on her phone, and she uses it all the time. It is a great little product. These things are not very expensive, and I got this from Smallrig, and I have two. I have one for my phone, one for her phone. We both use them literally all the time. Really good quality, sort of disappears onto the back. She doesn't have a case on her phone, I have a case on my phone, so mine's attached on the back. Again, these things are not very expensive, and it's extremely valuable when you are traveling, honestly. I can't say enough about it. Now, it does use a double-sided stick tape to stick to your phone. The only thing that I would say about these is to offer them in sort of like a sticky pad version. Like they have these sticky pads that don't actually use a stick adhesive to stick to your phone. It just uses like a textured rubber or a sticky rubber that it will stick to it. That would be the only thing I would say in the future would be something like that. Honestly, we use ours enough that it wouldn't justify not having it stuck to the back of my phone. And when I get a new phone, I'll just buy another one. These things are so cheap, but I just like that they're so useful, honestly. Super useful. It's the little things in life like this, that make things just a little better, a little easier, and a little cooler while you're, doing your thing. Now, this is just my everyday carry right now. Now, it could change in the next 6 months. Who really knows? Honestly, who really knows what the CDC is going to come out with? I live here in America. Who's going to know if I'm ever going to need this mask again? But if I do need the mask, guess what? I have it. If I need a new wallet, honestly, with this slim carbon fiber wallet, it was 15 bucks. I'll order another one. In fact, nothing here was overly expensive. I am in no way a luxury person. The most expensive thing here are going to be my watches. Right? Those, because I'm a watch collector, this channel does primarily watches. However, I do have a few other things to review, but this is primarily a watch channel. I love watches. I love high-end, tough watches, and the Tourbillon isn't really a tough watch, but I have worn it at work, and I love to wear it outside of work because, man, it's just a giant statement piece on the wrist. The shoes, these shoes are 100 bucks. Now, a lot of people are like, man, 100 bucks is expensive, but when you're spending $80 on a pair of Nikes, then $100 isn't really that much more if you actually wear them. In fact, people spend hundreds of dollars on Jordans or hundreds of dollars on a pair of just white or black leather sneakers. So $100 is not that expensive. Yes, this Benchmade is expensive, but when it comes to Benchmade, you're also buying quality. Not once have I gotten this blade sharpened, and I use this thing nearly every day at work. 40 hours a week, and I've worked there for 7 years. And this thing has never once failed to open up. And again, this thing, this off-brand, and you can find them everywhere. This was like 40 bucks. So instead of spending $399 on a Benchmade simply because you want a brand, if you just want the coolness factor, spend the 40 bucks, spend the 50 bucks, do some research. Like, there's no reason to spend a bunch of money. Now, when it comes to cell phones, do I want to upgrade to an iPhone 12 Pro? Sure. However, we're already so past the iPhone 12 that really I'm just waiting for the next iteration of the iPhone to possibly get that one. I'm not one to hop on the bandwagon of the very first iterations of anything because there's always issues with them. And I'm sort of at an impasse right now of, do I want to buy a new cell phone and spend $1,000 on a new cell phone, or do I want to buy a DSLR camera for this channel so I can give you guys just better quality video? Sort of at an impasse there. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I do most of the stuff on my phone already, so if I get a DSLR, then I'm also gonna have to get a computer to complete all my editing on right now. I do literally 99.9% of everything I do on my phone. It's actually pretty amazing. I can do what I do on my phone. Well, guys, if you like videos and videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment of the content you guys would like to see. Like I said, just a quick video, my EDC, my everyday carry, of what I have on me every single day. Now, I have a lot of videos coming up in the future, so make sure you guys are hitting that notification bell so you guys can be notified when I drop that next video. Until next time.